Is your inbox filled with hundreds of contact form submissions? But the question is, how many of those leads are actually good fit for your business? So today we are building an AI agent for inbound lead qualification. Before that, a quick intro for me. I'm Adnan and I'm documenting my journey in the AI automation space. As I learn new stuffs every day, I record those and post in my channel. So before building our agent, we need some context of our imaginary company. So BioSource Analytics is an Austin-based provider specializing in the acquisition and provision of high-value medical and scientific laboratory equipment for research institutions, clinical labs, and biotech companies across the US. Alright, so this is our imaginary company. Since too many people are reaching out, which means their marketing team is doing a great job, we need some kind of automated lead qualify methods. Otherwise, you have to pay a lot for manual qualification. So our current ideal prospects are either in academic or non-profit research or an industry or commercial research category. We won't be accepting leads from other industries right now. Okay, so before building the AI agent, let's talk about it first. The main goal is to qualify leads based on the data provided in contact form in the company's website, and we will need some inputs for our agent, which will be just the contact form submission, and it will include the name of the lead, email, his message, and the URL of the company he works in. So this is the basic workflow of our AI agent. At first, lead submits form with their details and equipment needs. After that, our automated tool scrapes their institution or company website from the company URL. Then AI agent analyzes the information and qualifies the leads based on research lab criteria. So remember what our current ideal prospects are. They must be from either academic or non-profit research, or they must be in the industry or commercial research category. So they must be some kind of researcher. So after qualification, if qualified, it will call a second automation workflow to classify the qualified lead. For example, the lead can be of two types: academic research or industry research, and it will notify the right person in the BioSource sales team. For example, we can have one guy in the sales team who is experienced in pursuing academic researchers, and let's say we have another guy who is more proficient in pursuing industry researchers. So we need to notify the right person in the sales team. But if our lead is not qualified, the AI will send an automated email to the lead, and it will politely state we are currently not the best fit. Alright, so now we are in N8N, which is a platform for automating workflows, and everything is so handy here. So let's start building our agent by creating a new workflow. And we will name this workflow Lead Qualification Agent. Okay, done. Now we can start. At first, we need some kind of trigger to activate this workflow. So for that, we will use a form trigger node. So this form is provided by N8N. It's handy, it works. So let's first form title, just contact us. From description, we will get back to you as soon as possible. So this will be written in the form. Now we need to include some form elements, and so let's add the first form element. So your name, it's a required field, element type text. Okay, we'll add another form element, field name, your email, and the element type will be an email. So the reason for choosing this is because the form will force him to include a valid email, right? So this is a required field. We have name, we have email. We can add another form element, your company URL. So this is our another field, your company URL. So it can be in text. We can include some placeholder like example https:/mycompany.com. So the person who is filling out the form, he has to provide his company URL in this format, in this HTTPS format. Alright, so name, email, company URL, and then we can add another form element and we can call it your message. So what do you want with our company? So we can make this a required field. So if our form is done, we can actually check out how the form looks. Okay, so this is our form. It's clean, it's looking nice. So let's see if it takes input or not. Your name. So I'm just testing out. So, or I can just start with everything. Just test first. All right. So your email. So the I can include one of my spare emails here. Your company, or let's say I work here, right? Just assume I'm a person working at a research lab in UT Austin. Cool. A quick little disclaimer. The company URL and the names I've been using, Professor Aaron Baker, he's a real person, and I'm using his already publicly available profile for only illustrative purposes. So we need to always respect privacy and use professional data responsibly. This is just for illustrative purpose. So your message, hey, I need some equipments. The form is done. We can submit the form and let's see if it works or not. Yeah, the form is working perfectly fine, as you can see from here. We can see it in the schema version or JSON format as well. Nice. So our form, trigger form, is working fine. So let's add the next step, which will be HTTP request node. So this is our HTTP request node, and the method will be post. Guys, so what is the purpose of this HTTP request node? We need to send the company URL collected from the contact form to a tool which can actually parse out the company details from that URL. So how will we achieve this? Fortunately, I have already built a tool and it can do the task in Relevance AI, and you can check out my last video. I'm gonna link it in the description below, and in that video I showed the detailed process of building that tool. But for now I'm just going to Relevance AI and copy paste the URL here, right? Okay, so let's do it. Now we are in the Relevance AI, and as you can see, I have already made the company researcher tool previously. We are going there. So this is our tool, and the interesting thing is these tools can be made public, so you can access and use these tools by just having the API and the related URL. So this is our tool, and we can use it. We can click the share button. After clicking the share button, we have to select this option, publicly available or not. Yes, I want to make it public. But how do we copy the link? Here. There are so much stuff here, but I'm gonna simplify for you. So this is the endpoint v1, and since we are using a post method in our HTTP request, from our agent workflow, N8N workflow, we need to send some kind of message to this tool, and it will be in this format. See, it should be in this format, send out to this tool, then only our tool can parse the information. So this is our link to the tool. We can copy it. Now we are in N8N again, so this is our HTTP request. We can go there. So in this URL section, I can just paste the link that I copied earlier. So this is our link. All right, it's working fine. And we need to send a body. It will be in the JSON format, and we will send using JSON. So here I have already made this earlier, so I can just copy and paste the JSON field here. So this is our JSON body. However, in this section, in the company URL, these are dynamic entries, so I can just drag and drop. Let's just press, yeah. So this is our company URL from the contact form. We can drag and drop here. So this is our JSON file, and the result should look something like this. It seems there is a problem, so let's paste that again, drag and drop that again. Your company URL, it should go right here. Okay, now it's looking fine. As you can see, parameters, company URL. So this is what our results look like, and after this is our JSON dynamic entry. So next step, in this project section, you can see this number. If you check any links from your Relevance AI sharing option, it will have a project ID like this in the link. So you can just copy it from there and paste it here. So I have already done that. So don't get confused, guys. So let's check if our HTTP request works or not. We can click test step. So what now our workflow is doing, it's sending the company URL through this JSON body to our Relevance AI tool, and if it's done successfully, it will parse the URL and collect all the company information it can and present it in a concise format. We had to wait a bit. Our node is executed perfectly. So here's the output from HTTP request node. See, you can select the table version. So overview: the Baker Lab, based at an academic or research institution, is leading research group focused on cardiovascular biology and engineering. Okay, so this is the information the tool could parse from the given company URL, right? So our HTTP node is working just fine. Now we actually need to insert the AI agent, the thing we have been waiting for, the main thing. Okay, so let's add our AI agent here. So at first we need to include some brain into the AI agent. So this will be our chat model or LLM model. So for these agentive tasks, some models are better, some models are not that good. We are going to use Google Gemini chat model here. So I have already included my API key and connected it with my N8N. And for this model, we are going to choose Gemini 2.0 Flash. So from my experience, it does a great job, but of course, if you have access to better models like OpenAI O3 or 4 Mini or Cloud, you can use those. It's perfectly fine. So we are using Gemini 2.0 Flash model. Our model is set, and for our AI agent, we need to include some prompt so that it can understand what is the task of it. So I can click define below, and I have actually created the prompt earlier. So I can just copy this. This is our agent prompt and paste it here. So we'll select the expression format because we are going to include some kind of dynamic entries. You are an inbound lead qualification agent for BioSource Analytics. Your job is to analyze the form submission and company research provided and decide whether they are qualified to work with BioSource Analytics, an Austin-based provider of scientific and medical laboratory equipment, blah blah blah. So this is, we provided a bit of context about our imaginary company, and we have also included currently we are focusing our services primarily on academic research laboratories, institutional research facilities, and private research labs. So by providing this information, we are telling the agent to qualify leads based on these criteria only. So if the lead is from another industry, it will disqualify it. So here is the lead information for you to analyze. We can include the name of the lead here, so we can get that from the form submission. So this was the name of the lead, so we can just drag and drop. This is the lead's name, company / institution URL of the lead, which will be this one, your company URL. So message / equipment interest. So our lead left a small message here. Of course, it will vary, and I'm just demonstrating the examples, but real world application will be much more detailed than this. They will provide more information, which will actually make our agent to decide better. Then at last we have company / institution research, which will be scraped from their website or URL provided, and we have already done this task, and we can get it from the HTTP request output, or this answer here. See? So we are going to use this answer here. So we can just click it here. Alright, done. So we have provided the prompt for our agent. Few more tasks left. Before moving on, we can actually build the second workflow first, then add it here. But at first, let me just show you what I mean, or maybe we can do it later. Let's just first build our second workflow. It will be short, so let's just do it first. So as you can see, we are going to insert a second workflow here. So why call a second flow workflow? Why don't we just include all the steps from the second workflow and cram it in the first? So there are 4 main reasons. First of all, we need some kind of modularity, because 2 of those workflows will actually do separate tasks. The first one, its main job is to qualify the leads based on our criteria. But after we have qualified the leads, the second workflow will actually classify it in 2 categories. So we have some kind of modularity, and for those of you who are from programming background, you know modularity always helps. We can reduce complexity in each workflow. We can improve the readability and maintainability. We can potentially reuse those sections later on, and of course it's easier to debug if we face any problem. So instead of just modifying the whole workflow, we can target each small components and try to find out what's working or not. No, of course I want to save. Our workflow is saved, so let's go to home, and we are going to create a new workflow. This will be our second and secondary workflow, and we are going to name it Qualified Lead Classifier and Notifier. So the primary purpose of this workflow will be to take the qualified leads input from our first AI agent, and then as the lead is already qualified, it will classify them based on 2 categories that we set earlier, and it will notify the related sales guy on our team. So as usual, we need some trigger nodes here, and we are going to trigger it through when executed by another workflow. See, branch the flow when called by the execute workflow node from another different workflow. So we are going to call this second one from the first workflow. So we will need some kind of workflow input schema for our second one, and let me just show you so it will make sense slowly. At first, the first input will be the lead's name, then lead email, we can add that, then let's say leads company URL, also leads, actually I don't think we need the company URL here, as we are just classifying it based on the company description, and we have already done it through parsing our information from HTTP request. We don't need that, so let's just keep lead email, lead name. No, actually we need that. It will be handled later on, trust me. So we'll keep leads company URL. Why will we need it? Because as we are forwarding these stuffs to our sales guys, they will need the detailed information of the lead, so we should keep that. So let's just move it up here, and first we have lead name, leads company URL. Let's move that up here. So lead name, lead email, lead company URL. Here we have leads company description, lead name, lead email, leads company URL, leads company description, and we will add one more field, and this is a fun thing, guys, just watch. Qualified, and the type will assign the boolean type here. This is a fun thing which I'll show you later. Okay, so this is working, so let's test this step. Now, alright, so it will work for now. So at the next step we will add a basic LLM chain. And for this LLM chain we will need some prompts, which is this one. So this is a prompt for the agent in the second workflow or the model. We have a new inbound lead for BioSource Analytics, and we need you to classify its primary environment into either an academic/non-profit research or an industry/commercial research category. So here is the lead information: name, request, company, institution. If the lead primarily operates in university, college, or non-profit research institution or government labs, it should give an output just this: academic, non-profit research. Or otherwise, for profit companies, R&D, like commercial, so it will reply with industry, commercial, research. So let's just copy it, and what happened? Okay, we're going to define the prompt below. Let's paste our prompt here. We do not need any expressions here. Yeah, we will need an expression because we are providing all the things here. Alright, so the name of the lead, we'll get it from the first node, which will be passed on from the first workflow, as you will see. So lead name, let's just paste it here. Everything will get clear to you guys, just be a little bit patient. Request/equipment interest, so this is an optional part which I'm omitting for now, but you can always add that later if the lead actually provided the detailed information on what tools or equipments he will be needing in his in the message section of the form. So we can actually also extract that data from it using another let's say another tool, and we can include that here. But the leads company description, we can add that. Here it goes. So if our lead primarily operates in a university, as I said, it will give outputs like this one. Cool. So our prompting for our basic LLM chain is done. Now we need to add some kind of brain into it. So for this one, this is a fairly simple task. I'm going to use my OpenRouter API. I've already connected it. If you don't know how to connect, you can click this button here, create a new credential. At first you need to get your hands on the API keys for your desired model, then just use it here. So for this one, I'm going to use DeepSeek's basic model, DeepSeek R1 free. We're going to use that here. Alright, so we have included our model, and after that we need to add some kind of routing, because depending on the classification we will get two kinds of leads. So we need to contact two guys from sales depending on their expertise. So we can add a router here. So we have added a router node here. Let's just configure it. No input data yet, so at first we need to execute this node. Now we have to wait a little bit. Okay, it will work. So this will be text. This will be text. For now it's showing please provide the name and company description, because we haven't provided any name or company information to the LLM model yet, but we'll do that. But it will result in this text entry. We can use that and drag and drop here. So this will be JSON text and string. If this contains anything named academics, if this contains any word or the academics word, it will go in the true route, or if it doesn't contain academics, it will follow the false route. Alright. Okay. So for now we can actually test this node, because for now our text is this. Does it contain anything related to academics, or does it contain this word? No. So what will happen if we test this step? As you can see, there is no output in the true branch because false. It's in the false branch because it doesn't contain academics. Cool. So it's working perfectly fine. So now what we need to do, we can add a Gmail node here. Gmail, send a message. Okay, so at first you need to connect your Gmail account, and this will be Gmail account that the email will be sent from, right? So this is the Gmail account. This can be your company email, and the operation is send. And in this section too, so to which email will we send our email? It will be the leads email, right? No, actually it won't be the leads email. What we are doing here, after we have classified the lead, we need to contact our sales guy, right? So it can be something like a person from your sales team who is expert in pursuing academic researchers. Let's just say it's his specialty. So it can be like sales guy 1@gmail.com. But for now I am just going to use my dummy email, but you can always use the actual email. So it will be sent to the dummy email for our sales guy. It doesn't exist, but let's just guess everything. So hello world, no, we'll type hey, check out this lead. Why my PC is so slow right now? Okay, it will work. So it can be in the text format, and in the message section you can make it better. For example, okay, it's lagging so much. You can check this lead. He is from academic research background, right? Oh my god. Why is this? It's unbearably slow. Guys, I need to get a new laptop soon because my current laptop clearly can't handle the processing power, because I'm recording my screen and my webcam simultaneously, so I'm also running some resource hungry tabs in Firefox. So yeah, it's done. We can also make this an expression field and include some expressions here. See, his email, let's just say, and we can give the name and email of the lead here. Lead name, lead's email, and his company details, lead's company URL, and lead's company details, right? So if we get the actual data, the email will look kind of like this. I'll show you the actual email that our automated agent sends. Okay, so our email setup is done. So this will be done if the output from our LLM model contains the word academics. So we will message our sales guy who is expert in the academic field. So let's then add another Gmail node here. We can click send message and you get the point, right? So we can type in sales guy 2 @gmail.com. He's apparently an expert for commercial research labs, pursuing and selling stuff to commercial research labs. So hey, check out this lead, and the email type will be text, and in the actual email body we can write something like this: hey, I found A is from team. Okay, so then like before, I'm not gonna do everything now. You can drag and drop the lead's name, lead's email. You get the point, right? Lead's company URL, lead's company description. You get the point. I'm not writing the whole thing again. So here it goes. So yeah, so that goes our second Gmail node. So this will only activate if the false alarm is triggered, right? So by that, our second workflow is working fine and it's done. Now we need the final touch. Everything is working fine. We need the final touch. Let's go to home, to our first agent, and we'll call our second agent now. Our first workflow is loading. It usually doesn't take this much time. It's only taking time because my PC is slow, I guess. Let's make it a little bit smaller. Now we're going to add a tool here, and this tool will actually call another N8N workflow. So this uses another N8N workflow as a tool and allows packaging any N8N nodes as a tool. Nice, we need this. So when when will actually the agent use this tool? So we need to actually describe this in detail. I have already written that. So this will be in the description. If the lead is qualified to work with BioSource Analytics, for example, if they represent an academic institutional or dedicated private research lab seeking equipment, then trigger this tool and send the lead data in the following format. So the data in this is dummy only, and you should replace it with the correct data from the actual qualified lead. So this is just an example here. Okay, so we have provided an example. You can always change the example to your liking. You can paste this here. There are no dynamic entries here, so we do not need to worry about that. Now the most interesting part: how will we connect the second workflow? So from this list, so we can choose, and remember what we named our workflow. This it was qualified lead classifier and notifier. So we are going to call it, and the interesting thing is fetching the inputs. And see, we made these entries there and it has automatically loaded in the first row. How cool is this? So now we're going to need to do some work here, and that's we need to execute the previous nodes again. So okay, so before using the call tool, we need to run the nodes again. It's running the HTTP request and parsing the website data again. So let's just wait for some time. Alright, so our input is ready. We can actually stop the workflow. We only needed the input for our AI agent. So we are going to do that later on. So now for our tool, we can actually the input from here. Alright, so we have everything. So remember the lead name, lead email that we created in the second workflow, we can actually drag and drop now. So the lead's name is this, the lead's email will be this, lead's company URL will be your company URL from the form, lead's company description, it will be, it was from HTTP request, this one, right? Alright, so we provided the lead's company description. Then if you remember, we assigned a boolean type to this entry qualified. So we will let the AI to decide whether our lead is qualified or not, and it will just make it off or on, right? It's a boolean operator, but for now I'm just going to let the model decide. Alright, so we are almost done and we have sent everything. This is working fine. Have we set up the prompt for a model? Yes, our prompt is done. We have already set the N8N workflow tool. Nice. Now we need to do some tasks, and there's it. So let me just explain the whole workflow again. At first, someone is going to fill up our form. So from the form data, we workflow will be triggered, and by this HTTP request tool, the company information from the company URL will be parsed, then it will be fed into that AI agent, which will use this Google Gemini chat model and determine whether the lead is qualified for us or not based on the criteria that we have set. Then if the lead is qualified, it will pass the lead's information in the second workflow, and from that workflow it will work as a lead classifier. It will classify the leads based on 2 categories and then send emails to 2 different sales guys based on the category, right? So that was for classified leads. But what if our lead is that was for qualified leads, but what if our leads can become qualified for us? They are not a good fit for us, which will be determined by the agent. So for that, it will send an apology email to the lead and stating that we are not a good fit for him, right? So we can add another tool here. It will be a Gmail tool, and it will send emails. So in this to section, we can actually drag and drop the lead's email because we are emailing him directly. So this let's just say this is the lead's email. We just pasted it here. So we need some subject and message. I have already prepared that in advance, so we can just copy paste it. So this will be our email subject, paste. Email type is a text, and the email message will be, we can just read it here. Hi X, thank you for reaching out to BioSource Analytics via our website form. At BioSource Analytics, we are currently doing blah blah blah. After carefully reviewing the information you provided with your inquiry, it appears that your primary requirements may align with a different segment of the lab market than our current core focus. So after telling him that he's not qualified, we are going to offer some kind of help so that in future we can build some connection with him. So while we may not be the ideal fit to assist you at particular time, we want to ensure you find the best possible support. We would recommend exploring suppliers who have a broader focus, as they might be better positions to address your specific needs. So cool. We also added, we are continuously evaluating the needs of the scientific community, and our areas of specialization may expand in future. We'd be delighted to reconnect. Thank you again for your interest in us. Cool. So sincerely, the BioSource Analytics team. So this email is a banger as an apology email. So we are not going to break rapport with the lead, and instead we are building some kind of connection with him in the long run. So this will be in the expression format. Can you tell me why? Because we are going to use the dynamic entry, your name, after hi X, right? So we are going to use expression. You can expand that, paste that. What happened here? Alright. So hi, the lead's name here. So the result will look like this: hi YOLO, thanks for blah blah blah, and the whole thing, right? So everything is done. We are almost there, guys. We will test the Gmail node later. Alright, so we are done. We are done. Now we can actually check our model if it's working or not. Let's just unpin our data here. So that we can actually use different data later. Okay, so it's cool. So our build is done. Now we are going to conduct 2 tests. First one, I'll provide with a valid lead which will be qualified and which will be based on academic research, and as expected, our agent should work like this. It will take the input, then it will qualify it, then send it to the second workflow, and the second workflow will deal the rest, because it will classify it and send it to the salesperson who is actually expert in pursuing educational researchers. And in our second experiment, we will fill out the form as someone with a website who is not currently our company's focus market, and our agent will disqualify the lead and send an email to him apologizing. And yeah, let's just check everything. Let me just save my agent, and now we can start working. So we can test the whole workflow here from the very beginning. So we can include the name, Bruce Wayne. We will need a valid email, so I'm just copy pasting my dumb email here, but the lead will include his email. And let's just say Mr. Bruce Wayne works in Baker Lab. In daytime and in nighttime he fight crimes. That's alright. So, hey, I need some equipments for my lab. Can we talk? Alright. So based on this information, as he's already working in an educational institution in a research lab, our agent should qualify him and pass his data to the second workflow. So let's just see what happens. Click submit. So now the data has been passed on to the HTTP request node. Alright, everything is done, and after parsing the website data, it's passed on to the AI agent, which is using the Gemini chat model. And see how this is working, because our agent has decided that the lead is qualified, so thus it has called the second workflow. Otherwise it would use this route, right? So done. Yeah, man, it feels good after your build is working right. Cool. So it didn't use this node, it used this node here, because our agent has qualified our lead. So now I'm not going to cross this window. Our second workflow is working hard, and we should get an email, and the email, let's just assume we are the sales guy who will be selling the equipments, and as a sales guy we should get that email. So I'm just going to check my email inbox right now. So I got the sales email, and see, hey, check out this lead. Hey, you can check out this lead. He is from academic research background, and as a sales guy who is the expert in this field, I'm gonna just run through all the details. How cool is this? It even gave sales call considerations, and in the end this email was sent automatically with N8N. See, so our tool is working just fine. Now I actually want to show you the interesting mechanisms behind this. At first, if you click the AI agent, as you can see, after executing the task, it replied with OK. I have triggered the call N8N workflow tool because the lead from Bruce Wayne at the Baker Lab appears to be qualified based on the criteria that I provided in the prompt, right? So they are an academic research lab focused on blah blah blah, and I have sent all the details and triggered the tool. After triggering the tool, we can actually see the executions here. If we click the call N8N workflow tool and view sub executions, we can actually see the mechanisms behind it. So this is the sub execution, and Let it to load first. It's taking some time. Okay, so as you can see, how can I as you can see, the process followed this path. The tool was triggered by executed by another workflow. The input was passed into the basic LLM chain, which used the Gemini chat model to determine the classification of the lead. Then it passed in the if route, and since our output contained, we can actually see the output here. If we click on the if route, see, our LLM model actually replied with academic non-profit research, just how we instructed it. So since it contains the word academic, and we provided this condition here, if the JSON text contains the word academic, it should follow the true branch. And after following the true branch, it sent an email to the sales guy, who is actually expert in the academic research section. So how cool is that? Our tool is working just fine. Now we should, as I said, I want to test it a little bit more. I'm going to include a company URL which is not our target focused customer, and we'll see if our tool can actually send him an apology email or not. Now we are going to test our tool with an unqualified lead. Alright, so let's click on test workflow. Your name, let's just name it Sarah. This AI video will be incomplete without referencing to the movies, right? So as usual, I'm going to use my dummy email. Let's just assume it's the email of Sarah Connor from future. Your company URL. So I have come up with this URL, cplabs.com. Apparently they provide pathological services to doctors and clinics. So since it is purely commercial, it's not something research based, so our AI agent should disqualify the lead. We are going to see the result right now. So, hey, can you guys provide equipments for my company? It's just a dummy text, so let's just see if it works or not. So the form is submitted. Now our HTTP request tool is working hard for parsing the data, and let's see. As usual, it's taking some time, but guys, the most interesting thing about my journey is when you spend hours and hours learning the thing, and then hours and hours building the thing, then add more hours for debugging it, because always in the first time you usually have some kind of problems, the tool doesn't run or something happens. But finally when it works, just like it worked now, as you can see, workplay executed successfully. Nice. So if we check the result of our AI agent, let's see what it's saying. Okay, based on the lead information, Clinical Pathology Labs is a Texas-based healthcare provider that specializes in blah blah blah. Given that CPL's focus is on clinical pathology and diagnostic services rather than research, they do not seem to fit the profile of BioSource Analytics' ideal customer, which is academic, institutional, and dedicated private research labs. Therefore, I will trigger the Gmail send email tool to let them know that they are currently unable to assist. That we are currently unable to assist with their specific request. Nice. The AI agent worked just perfectly fine, and it used the Gmail. So now we are going to check our email. Alright, so we have received the email. As you can see, it worked just perfectly fine. If you click on that, so this is our email, apology email. So regarding your inquiry with BioSource Analytics. Hi Sarah Connor. Thank you for reaching out to BioSource Analytics via website, blah blah blah. Just as we prepared the email firsthand. Sincerely, this email was sent automatically within it. So that was it. Our build is working just fine, and I'm just super happy because my build worked out fine. And yeah, that was it. Alright, so that was the video. Our journey continues. Let me know what are your thoughts on this AI agent that we built today, and like the video, subscribe for more AI explorations, and I post daily, so don't miss out on them, and comment below with your insights. So yeah, see you in the next one. Bye bye.